Can I share with you 5 reasons you should consider becoming a government contractor? The government spends trillions of dollars every year with small business owners, woman-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, service-disabled veteran-owned businesses. They are looking for you, which is why in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some benefits as to why you would want to make the government your customer. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you are looking to grow your business, expand into government contracting, or maybe you're just considering government contracting, I want to encourage you to go ahead, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I drop new trainings right here on this channel. Today, we're going to be talking about having a customer that's ready to pay. You growing your business and being able to step into the CEO role of your business. I'm talking about being that true visionary leader and those $1 million contracts. One of the greatest things I learned when I first got started in my business was that the government was actually looking for businesses just like mine. At the time, that particular business was a minority-owned small business, a service-disabled veteran-owned small business. We've since expanded also into being a woman-owned small business. So I know, and this is what I learned years ago, is that the government was looking for small, minority-owned small businesses. Like they were looking for us and they couldn't even find us. I don't want that to be your reality. I don't want you to be leaving money on the table. For me, it was an eye-opener that the possibility of growing my business to $1 million a year, winning $1 million government contracts. I didn't even think it was possible in the beginning, but let me tell you, it is so. And it was life-changing, not just for me, but for my children as well. We all now have our own businesses, and so we've changed the legacy for our family. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all small business owners. So if that's your goal, I want to encourage you to continue watching this video. Learn how the government is looking for you. And as you get into government contracting, you start winning those $1 million contracts, and you'll see how it can change the game for yourself, your family, and your generations to come as well. All right, so let's get into the benefits of winning government contracts. The first thing is the need. You know, when you start a business, you're always looking for customers that need what you have to offer. Well, the government, they need you. And here's the thing, the government buys pretty much everything. Wherever you're at right now, do a 360, look around, what do you see? They probably buy it. They buy just about everything. All right, they're not a manufacturer, they don't produce anything. The only thing I say that they don't buy is soldiers. But they buy a whole lot of things to support soldiers in their missions. The pay is guaranteed, that's number 2. So it removes the stress out of getting paid, having to chase your clients around for money. They saying, hey, you got to wait till next week or things like that. The money is there waiting for you. It's already been allocated for the contracting opportunities that the government puts out. And not only with getting paid, you're looking at longer contracts as well. You know how sometimes in the private sector, and especially if you're doing residential, you have these one-off contracts. Well, a lot of times with the government, it is not so. We're talking multiple year contracts, year-long contracts. So now we're talking about you being able to not only get paid, but create cash flow in your business, consistent cash flow. And then the great thing is, you think about it, when you have these longer-term opportunities, now you're able to step out of doing everything in your business, getting some help, you stepping into that CEO role, being that true visionary leader of your business, but also being able to focus on the personal aspects of your life. You know, your family, the lifestyle that you want to have, your health, your well-being. And third, the $1 million opportunities. Wouldn't you like to get your business to $1 million a year? And if you're already there, what about $1 million contracts? And with all of that being said, think about it. $1 million a year consistently, $1 million contracts consistently. What does that also equal? Profit, more profit margins that you can work with. So definitely think about it. Don't think too long. So I want you to comment below. How did you learn about government contracting? Share that in the comments. I shared earlier how I learned about it. And I think I've told it in other videos as well, where another company that we were working with introduced us into government contracting and told us that, hey, the government is looking for businesses just like yours. So that's how we learned about government contracting. But how did you learn about government contracting? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to read your story. I want to shout to the world and let everybody know about government contracting. I really do. I believe there is enough to go around. The government is spending trillions of dollars every year, and in all actuality, I can't do all of the contracts. Even a handful of us can't do all of the contracts. So there is enough to go around, which is why I want to shout from the rooftop and let everybody know about government contracting, which is why I do what I do, and I teach on the subject of government contracting. And then also, my passion has always been teaching and training. That is my background. And so I really love not only being able to teach and educate people, but also in the process, I'm teaching you something that will make you money, that will change your family legacy, change the dynamics of your business. We're talking about changing the game, and government contracting and having the right knowledge, being in the right place at the right time, having the right tools and strategy will get you there. Which is why I'm also always looking for opportunities to speak on the topic of government contracting, talking to businesses about growing their businesses, strategy, negotiating deals, everything that goes into government contracting, writing your proposals, all of that. I love teaching on the subject of government contracting. So definitely, if you know someone that's looking for a speaker, or if there's an audience I can come to and just share about government contracting, let me know. All right, so let's get back to it. Number 4, make more money. And here's the thing. You get to do what you love, but make more money. You get to hit your income goal while doing what you love. And then you get to have a business that supports the lifestyle that you desire. It doesn't get any better than that. Number 5 is being that true visionary leader of your business. That's game changer. Because here's what happens. You get into government contracting, you get in, say you get to $1 million a year, you get into these $1 million contracts, you're going to start hiring help at some point, which is going to take some things off of your plate, allow you to then focus on growing your business versus working in the day-to-day of your business. Then you'll build relationships that supports the vision that you have for your business. I always say, as you're hiring people, as you're building these relationships where you're going to team with other companies, you want to make sure they're vested in your vision. Get more time back because you have help, right? So you're able to do some of those personal things that we talked about earlier that you may want to enjoy doing, spending time with your family. Sometimes business gets so hectic. A lot of times people cut out going to the gym, exercising, things like that, which is a no-no for me, but I see it happen all the time. And so as you get help, you're able to free up some of your time to focus on you, your mental, making you a better person because you're leading people now. And so you have to focus on your well-being, making sure every time you step into the business mode, you're bringing your A game. And that starts with you. And then here's the kicker. You'll learn that you'll start to be able to take vacations, step away from your business for a short period of time, but the business continue to run and the business continue to be profitable while you're out taking care of yourself. Game changer, right? Here's what I like to call it: quarterbacking without touching the ball. And that's a topic that I speak on in leadership trainings, when I'm talking to CEOs and small business owners that's getting ready to step into that visionary leader role. It's really all about quarterbacking without touching the ball. When you're ready to take that business of yours to the next level and step out of the day-to-day and start allowing people to help you in growing your business. All right, so here's a bonus. This is number 6. We want to talk about how getting into government contracting, the benefits that the government have for you, that it is a game changer. I always say game changer. That's one of my favorite phrases, game changer, changing the game. That's what it's all about as you get into government contracting. Make sure it's a game changer. And here's the thing, if you do it right, it can change the game for you, your family, and your generations to come. You're able to have a smaller group of clientele, which is key because remember, we're building relationships. We're servicing a client's needs. And once we have a smaller group, we're able to be more efficient and effective in servicing those needs, providing the offer that we have to them. You're able to focus on bigger contracts because the government has them, remember, multiple year contracts as well. And then you get to limit the competition with the set asides. Okay, so now instead of, sometimes it's hundreds and thousands of people bidding, it could sometimes be as many as just three people bidding on the same opportunity. So tell me, is that not limiting the competition? It is. And then you have those advantages. If you get your certifications, I always say apply for all the certifications for which you're qualified for: woman-owned small business, service-disabled veteran-owned small business, minority-owned small business, hub zone. Whatever certifications you qualify for, make sure you get them. And the other benefit is consistent cash flow. Who doesn't want consistent cash flow? I know I do. And here's the other thing. I've heard some people say, most people don't pay on time. They're chasing their customers to get paid and things like that. Well, let me tell you, the government pays on schedule and on time. And then here's the last thing, we're always building our database. We're always looking for new leads. We got to get those leads coming in, right? Consistently. Well, with the government as your customer, now not only do you have a smaller select group of clientele that you have to work with, but you get repeat business from the same customer, the same client. How cool is that? So there you have it, the benefits of becoming a government contractor and winning government contracts. If this is new to you, make sure you check out my website. On my blog, I have a ton of information, video trainings, all about government contracting and growing your small business. I also have programs which I work with you guys, whether it's one-on-one or in a group setting, to get you to your first government contract, and then on to your $1 million year, and then on to those $1 million contracts. So I'll put the link down below to my website where you can check those things out. And then if you already know about government contracting and you're sitting on the fence, what are you waiting for? The benefits are there, the opportunities are there, and the money is there, waiting for you to take action and get in the game. So just do the darn thing. And if you've been hanging out with me here for a while on this channel and you have not subscribed to this channel, why not? Don't you think it's time for us to partner on your journey to becoming a government contractor? Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when we drop new trainings, and then go ahead and like this video. And then one last thing, share this video out to 3 people that you know. I'm sure there's somebody you know that's thinking about starting a business or they've started a business. Why not introduce them to government contracting by way of these training videos? They're free, that I have on my website and on my YouTube channel. And then they can learn more about government contracting. You can learn more about government contracting. So make sure you subscribe. And then I'll see you right back here real soon. And remember, you're just one contract away. Bye for now.